tasters, Nibbler here again, another nightcap note. This evening I'm going back to America, and this is Basil Hayden's Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey. Now, I've mentioned before what makes bourbon bourbon, but just to jog your memory, to be called bourbon it's got to be at least 51% corn and put in a new charred oak barrel. Well, I believe there's quite a high percentage of rye in this whiskey. To be a straight whiskey, it's got to be at least 2 years in that barrel, and this one's probably a few more than that. And to be a Kentucky straight bourbon, well, that's pretty obvious. It's got to be made in Kentucky. It's named after Basil Hayden, who was the original distiller in 1796, so they've been knocking out this stuff for a while. It does say artfully aged, but there's no actual age statement. I bought a bottle of this on my last trip to the US and I paid $33 for it. Booze is really cheap in the States. To buy this here in Australia is at least $85. Let's have another little sip of the Basil Hayden Kentucky Straight Bourbon. 40%. Got this strange paper design around the label, which is interesting. So it's an amber colour. Looks as though it's been aged a bit. Well, there's lots going on in the nose. There's vanilla and, strangely enough, it smells a bit like corn. Yes, indeed it does. And there's toffee, and I can get a hint of the charred wood and pepper. And funnily enough, maybe a hint of mint. Not spearmint, the peppermint, more peppermint. Yeah. Well, I like bourbon. And this is a good example of that. There's a good mouthfeel. I can certainly taste the corn and the sweetness of it all. There's some caramel and vanilla and a strong sense of honey. This is very easy to like. And the finish is quite long. It's warming, it hangs around there. Really spicy and tasty. There's a Cole Porter song, I think he wrote it in about 1951, which lots of people have covered, which goes, "You'd be so nice to come home to." And I reckon that describes this to a T. This is really nice to come home to. Cheers. I really hope you like bourbon as much as I do.